This is Helloangel.design. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple tote bag. This is how it is right now. It's super beautiful, and inside there is no pockets. It's plain inside, and I use the same lining for the handle. Please support me by subscribing and also click the notification bell so that whenever I upload new video, you will be the first to be notified. If you have any question, put it on the comment section. If you're just stopping by, thank you so much for watching. If you have anything to add to my tutorial, go ahead and put it on the comment section. So let's get started. What you really need if you want to make this kind of tote bag, you need the measurement of your made fabric, the measurement of your lining, the measurement of your handle. Don't forget your interfacing. This is my interfacing for the made fabric, and this is also my interfacing that I will iron on the handle. My made fabric, I cut 2 pieces of my made fabric. The length is 16 inch, the width is 15.5 inch. For the handle, the length is 24 inch, the width is 4 inch. For my lining, the length is 17.25 inch, the width is 15.5 inch. First thing that you have to do, you're going to make a bust corner for the tote bag. So I will take the length will be 2 inch, and I'll come to this side. I will do the same thing, and the width will also be 2 inch. And you come to this side, you do the same thing. Once you have done that, take your scissors, just cut it out, and you will do the same thing with the lining. I have cut out the corners, and you also do the same thing with your lining. The next thing that you have to do, open your fabric like this. This is the back of the fabric. Take your interfacing, put it on top of it like this. Make sure your interfacing, you're placing the shiny part on the fabric. So take it to your ironing board and just go ahead and press along. You'll do the same thing with the other fabric. I have pressed my interfacing. As you can see, I just press it at the back of the fabric. And I also do the same thing with the handle. So the width is 2 inch. Press along and then fold it into 2. Make sure when you're doing this, you take it to your ironing board and press along. So the center crease of your handle, fold inside. Make sure the raw edges of this side fold into that center crease, and you fold this side into the center crease and then fold it again and give it a very nice press. So the first thing that you have to do, take your handle to your sewing machine, top stitch the both side. Take the second handle, top stitch the both side. I have stitched the handle in place and I just take it to my ironing board and press it very well. The next thing that you have to do, put the both fabric, put them together like this so that you know the main part of your fabric. I have done that already, so this is the main part right here. Once you have done that, from the side seam of the fabric, measure inside 3.5 inches. So side seam, I will measure inside 3.5 inch. From this other side seam, I will also measure 3.5 inch. So you come to the side, 3.5 inch is right here. So what you're going to do, you're going to place your handle. Before you place your handle, make sure that it's not twisted. So place your handle like this. Place your handle like that. Take a pin, pin that in place. And you come to this side, you do the same thing. Check your handle properly, make sure it's not twisted. And also pin that in place. Once you have done that, take it to your sewing machine, give it a top stitch. Make sure to back stitch 2 to 3 times to secure the handle. And you will do the same thing with the second fabric. Measure inside 3.5 inch, 3.5 inch. Place your handle, pin it in place. Take it to your sewing machine, top stitch 2 to 3 times to secure the handle. Top stitch the handle. The next thing that you have to do, you take your lining. So this is my lining, and make sure both fronts are facing each other. So what you're going to do, you're going to pin around the top of the fabric. Just take your pin, pin it all around. Once you have done pinning, take it to your sewing machine, give it a top stitch all the way down. My seam allowance is 1/2 inch. I have top stitch it in place and I just press the seam apart. The next thing that you have to do, put the both back together. Make sure both lining are facing each other. Both main fabric are facing each other. Put the both seam together. Make sure they are matched and take your pin. Pin that in place. You come to this side, you do the same thing, put the both seam. Make sure they are matched and pin that in place. So the next thing that you have to do, pin around the both side seam of the bag, both the lining and the main fabric. Pin the both sides seam together and also pin the bottom edge. So when I'm leaving a gap, I will leave a gap at the side seam of the fabric. So go ahead and pin it all around. I have pinned the both sides seam together of the bag and the bottom edge. I did the same thing with the lining, the both sides seam, and I leave a gap here. This is where I'm going to turn the bag inside out. I leave about 5 inch. From here to here is 5 inch. This is where I'm going to turn my bag inside out. You should do the same. So when you're stitching, back stitch at the beginning, back stitch at the end, and ends here. Make sure you also back stitch. You continue from here, back stitch here, just stitch it all the way down, and you come to this side, you stitch it all the way down. You come to the bottom edge, top stitch, and you come to the bottom edge of the lining, also top stitch. I have top stitch everything together, and I just take it to my ironing board, press the seam apart, and this is the gap I left open where I'm going to turn the bag inside out. The next thing that you have to do is to stitch the bust corner. So you just open your bag like this and put the both seam together. Make sure they are matched. Pin that in place, and you can go ahead and start pinning. Once you have done pinning, take it to your sewing machine, get a straight stitch all around. Do the same thing on the side, a straight stitch. I have top stitch it in place. I just give it a straight stitch down, and I do the same thing here, and I do the same thing with the lining. The next thing that you have to do is to put your hand inside this open gap and turn your bag inside out. So I have turned my bag inside out. I will just take it to my ironing board and press it very well. So I have ironed my bag. This is how it looks right now. The next thing that you have to do, the open gap, take it to your sewing machine. Just give it a top stitch down. Put them together. You can pin it in place, but I will not pin this. I will just take it to my sewing machine right now and give it a straight stitch down. I have top stitched the open gap. This is how it is. The next thing is just to push your lining inside your bag. Just push it in like that. The next thing that you have to do, remember your lining is longer than your made fabric. My made fabric is 16 inch. My lining is 17.25 inch. That means it's 1.25 inch longer. But after you stitch your bag, the inches will be shorter. So from my lining, I pull out 1 inch. When you finish making your bag, the lining is inside like this. But because my lining is longer, so you just pull it out gradually. So I measure down 1 inch all around. 1 inch, 1 inch. You just keep measuring all around the top of the bag and take it to your ironing board and press it very well. You just do the same thing all over. Take it to your ironing board and press it very well. The next thing that you have to do, take your bag to your sewing machine, give it a top stitch all around like that. Give it a top stitch all around. Once you have done that, your bag is finally ready.